Who is your target market? Who is your target market? And today, I am going to talk to you about understanding your clients and what their needs and desires are. It is one of the most important considerations in your real estate business to understand who your clients are. In fact, we can't be a realtor for everyone. We can't possibly meet the needs of every single client based on their desires and their outcomes. It's very critical that we have a clear understanding and picture of who exactly we're trying to solve problems for so that we can have the best outcomes. When I started my fitness career 20 years ago, I didn't have much of a business because, namely, I was new to it, but I didn't have any direction. I didn't understand who exactly I was trying to be as a coach, and I didn't understand who I was trying to train, and therefore, I didn't have a business. And after some consideration and thought, I had this grand idea that I wanted to train professional athletes. Well, that's a great, worthy goal, but I didn't have necessarily the credentials and the experience to do so at the time. And we don't have any professional sports teams in Vail, Colorado. So that created the second problem. And so then I thought, well, I'll just train any athlete. Well, we do have athletes in Vail, right? We do. Most of them are weekend warriors. And at least at the time in the early 2000s, the athletes that I could find didn't have any money to afford my services. So back to the drawing board again. And then at some point during the recession, I had an idea that I was going to train new mothers who had infants that were just previously born. I thought, what a great idea. I can run a boot camp in the park for mothers who want to lose baby weight and they don't have time to go to a gym because they have an infant. They can just bring their stroller, come to the park, do a little this, a little circuit here and there while their baby is sleeping in the stroller. Everybody wins, right? Well, the big problem with that business model, nobody had any money during the Great Recession. Certainly not any disposable income to pay me, a fitness trainer, that was trying to make ends meet. After much consideration and getting very, very clear on what my goals were, it dawned on me. My most important value in that business model was, how can I affect the lives of as many people as possible? Well, the next question would be is, if I'm going to affect as many lives as possible, I have to find out who are these people that can afford my services, have a will to use them, a reason to use them, and the time to use them. And then it was very clear to me, the baby boomers. Vail, Colorado is an expensive zip code, and baby boomers have a lot going for them that can help feed my business, and I have a lot going for me that can change the lives of that clientele. They have resources, and lots of them, number one, so they can afford my services. Good. Number two, they have time. A lot of them are retirees, lots of time on their hand. And thirdly, most importantly, I knew that they had a will to live a long, vital life. A lot of them had children, had grandchildren, and intuitively I knew that they wanted to stick around to enjoy their money. Sounds like a winning formula, and it was. Ultimately, once I rebranded, focused on that clientele, and figured out a way to market to them, I had a 50 billable hour week. Week after week, year after year, rinse and repeat, I had a successful business until I was tired because I had such a successful business. And then when I opened Vail's first and only hostel, the bunkhouse, I took the same approach. I understood that we needed to be very clear on who our target market was. And that is exactly how the bunkhouse was born, understanding that when Vail Resorts came out with the Epic Pass during the recession, well, you could buy a ski pass now that was unlimited, unrestricted to multiple resorts across the world for a nominal fee of $450 a year. The problem is, where are these individuals who are buying a $450 ski pass staying? I knew that now some individuals were included in the sport that were previously excluded from the sport because the cost of admission was too high, and now it was affordable for all populations. Yet, most, if not all, of the hotels at the time in 2015 in Vail, Colorado, were luxury hotels and were quite expensive. And this is just maybe before Airbnb. Airbnb was around, but not to the degree it is now. Short-term rentals weren't necessarily a thing at that time. So I knew exactly who our target market was. Matter of fact, our motto at the bunkhouse is spend money on cool adventures, not expensive hotels. And voila, we had a business model with a specific target demographic, people that weren't necessarily affluent, who needed a safe, comfortable, clean place to stay. It was affordable. Our rates don't get much more, over $100 a night for a bunk bed. Who is your target market? Okay, when it comes to real estate sales, I'm going to keep this relatively simple and not complicate this. If you're targeting, for example, first-time home buyers, then you have to have a brand and an image and an understanding of what first-time home buyers need to be successful, including, but not limited to, it's a good idea to have really, really good relationships with local lenders, because usually, not always, but usually, first-time home buyers are going to use a bank or a mortgage lender to come up with the money to buy the home. Most first-time home buyers that I've experienced aren't paying cash. And so without a good relationship with a local lender, it's going to be difficult to guide them on how to get approved so that they can buy the home. Number two, you want to understand the local down payment assistance programs that we have, such as Vail and Deed. There's Me Casa and Avon. There's the Good Deeds program. A lot of these programs have similarities. A lot of them have differences. But the overall theme of these down payment assistance programs is that they will give the buyer money, not loan them money, give them money, give them funds that they don't have to pay back. And in exchange for money that's given to them through our local governments, they put deed restrictions on the home with varying degrees of regulations. So that's a consideration with first-time home buyers, and also understanding the market. You have to understand the entry-level market. The vast majority of first-time home buyers are going to be buying homes that are priced on the lower end of the market. Again, not always. This is a generalization. This isn't set in stone. But if you know that first-time home buyers is going to be your target market, understand what they're buying. How much are they selling for? How quickly are they moving off the market? How slowly are they not moving off the market? What is the price per square foot? What are the finishes of a lot of these homes? Are there new construction in the area that you need to be aware of, that like, for example, down in Dotsero, there's a new development this summer. You can buy a 3-bedroom home for $485,000. There are condominium opportunities and townhome opportunities in Eagle and Gypsum for first-time home buyers. There's a lot of inventory in Edwards and Avon that cater to potential first-time home buyers. So understand that as an example if that's a target audience. Luxury clients. If you're going to target luxury clients, understand this, that they want a white glove service, so that it makes their lives easier. The biggest challenge that I have found with luxury buyers, or the greatest opportunity rather, is they want you as their real estate professional to solve their problem and to make life easy for them. Whether they're selling a home or buying a home, they typically don't want to have to think a whole lot about it. They want to understand that their needs are being met professionally, timely, and that you are an expert in that market. You have to understand, just like first-time home buyers, understand how much those homes are selling for. What are the comps selling for? Understanding how much value is added to a home that's updated, how much value is subtracted to a home that's not updated. Understanding their buying power, and understanding ultimately the service expectations that are required of you. You have to have a luxury presence. You have to dress well. Not telling you that you have to spend lots of money on fancy clothing, but you need to present well. You need to, as shallow as it may seem, take care of yourself. Have pride in how you look, how you present, how you articulate with them. What's your confidence level? Do you speak confidently? Do you understand the market? Do you understand what's going on? Or are you a deer in headlights when it comes to understanding their needs and desires and what's taking place? So you want to have an overall luxury appearance from how you present your materials. Do you have specific branding colors that you don't deter from? Do you use consistent fonts? Are your open house signs have a luxury feel and presence to them? Is your car cleaned? Is it detailed? These are really, really important. Having a luxury website, even though, a website's not the end all be all in 2025 with social media, and there's other avenues of displaying your presence. If you take two agents and somebody refers you, and that potential client Googles your name and your website comes up, is it outdated? Is it old? Does it have sales that took place 2 years ago? What's the overall feel to that website? Does it have a luxury presented aesthetic appeal to it, or does it look like it's something that needs updated? So those are some things to consider when you're dealing with luxury clients. The other thing, when you're talking about luxury clients, where do you find luxury clients? If you're going to target buyers and sellers that own luxury homes, where do these individuals hang out? Well, typically they're affluent, so private golf clubs, black tie fundraisers. One of my favorites is Cars and Coffees. Cars and Coffee. I'm a race car hobbyist. I've raced cars for many years, and on the weekends during the summer months, we have a local Cars and Coffee where men and women who have really high-end sports cars, race cars, eclectic collectible trucks, classic cars, hot rods, etc., we gather at local parking lots every week and talk about cars. Well, this is an area where I have found clients because people with expensive sports cars and collectibles typically have wealth and typically have luxury homes. So understanding where these individuals hang out. If you're a golfer, going out to a golf club, you're joining a golf club, or at least spending time there at dinner or happy hour or music night at a golf club. These are great opportunities to meet luxury clients. So when it comes to working with them, when it comes to presentation, it's important to have a good team. You want to understand good photography, having good drone footage, making sure that you have a specific website catered to that specific listing. Building a website for that property is really, really, really critical. Calling prominent brokers in that specific neighborhood who have had successful sales and letting them know that, hey, just wanted to call you, Joe. I know that you have been a successful agent in this neighborhood and that you might have buyers for a property that I am bringing to the market in a few weeks. I wanted to give you a heads up before this hits the market. Always a great strategy. Using RedX is a great app that you pay a nominal fee. It's $70 a month where you can, and this goes for any real estate listing, or even if you're just circle prospecting looking for potential listing or buyers, where you can type in a specific address or you can map out on the program and it'll give you TCPA compliant, do not call list compliant, bona fide owners in a specific neighborhood with their name, address, phone numbers. Gives you a bunch of detail of the owners. And for example, when you have a luxury listing, calling up neighbors in the area and saying, "Hey Joe, this is Samantha from Keller Williams, and this isn't a cold call. I just wanted to let you know I am hosting an open house this coming weekend. In case you know anyone who would like to be your neighbor, because after all, neighbors typically like other neighbors that they like, love, and trust. And I wanted to invite you to this open house this weekend." It's just expanding your sphere and really taking the next step and delivering that special service to these luxury clients is really, really, really critical. Another tip for luxury dealing with luxury listings or buyers is when you have a listing in a particular neighborhood, look at the recent closings. Call up those listing agents and say, "Hey, I noticed that you just sold such and such. Great job on the sale, by the way. That's a great sale for you. Did you have backup offers? Did you have buyers that came through that missed out? Because I have a similar property for sale here and just want to make sure that we touch as many potential buyers as possible so that they understand what's going on in the market and that this is an available home for them when they missed out on yours." Small details that can really, really set you apart when it comes to other agents, and so that you can set yourself apart for your client. And then also just a few last tidbits on the importance of understanding what to say and how to listen when you're dealing with, whether it's a luxury client or whether it's a first-time home buyer or it's an investor looking for an investment property or a commercial space. It's really critical when you're understanding your market, regardless of who they are, that you listen. Listening to your customer is the most powerful, profound thing that you can do. It's really important to ask good questions and hear what they're saying and mirror back to them exactly what they said to you. At the end of the day, people hire real estate professionals that they trust. And the greatest way to build trust and rapport with somebody is to listen to them and understand what they're saying. A couple of good resources to help you understand this better is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. This is a great negotiating book that everybody should read this book. And Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones. Those are a couple of great resources that can help with listening skills, empathy skills, understanding that it's a win-win situation. Everybody can win. It's not a win-lose situation when it comes to real estate transaction. And most importantly, here's something that above all of this that we've talked about today, the most important thing, the most important arrow that you have in your quiver is confidence. You have to develop a mindset of confidence. It doesn't matter who you're working with, doesn't matter who your target market is. Understand that People will trust you and people will do business with you if you know what you're talking about. So you have to do your homework and you have to be confident and recognize that we're all humans. And just a quick story, I know a very good agent, one of the smartest individuals, and he's very successful, by the way, in a different marketplace. One of the brightest human beings I've ever met. He is as sharp as a tack, but he does lack confidence. He lacks confidence when it comes to luxury sales. And he just doesn't believe that he is in the same ballpark as people with a lot of wealth. But the reality is they're just people. They put their pants on one leg at a time. They have the same victories, losses, struggles, failures, challenges as the rest of us. We're all just people. And understanding that this critical piece, the most critical piece, is being able to connect with people on a human level with the confidence that you can talk to them intelligently, you can talk to them with authenticity and genuineness, and that's what matters. Because at the end of the day, all we're doing is we're trying to solve problems for people, and we're doing it in a way that is ethical,